Welcome back to Future Unscripted, episode 16. It's winter arc season, baby. We're using these cozy months to level up body, mind, business, and habits before January even hits.
Exactly. Today, we're sharing the habits that we're building, why community beats audiences every time, and how to turn what you already have into digital products that sell while you sleep.
Yes, and we have a quick favor to ask. Please hit that subscribe button real quick so you never miss an episode.
Yes, double check that you're subscribed. It's 100% free and it'll ensure that we can keep the good vibes coming. Hello, Lydie.
Hello, Aubrey. So nice to see you again. Every time. It's
Every
always a
time.
pleasure. Every time. So, what are we diving into today?
So, first up today, we have the winter arc. This is a topic that we have talked about in past episodes, but we're bringing it back because we are in the middle of it. And really quick, I want to read a definition of what the winter arc is. You might have seen it floating around TikTok. It's big in the fitness space, but the basic idea is that it's a self-improvement trend where we use the later months of the year, usually October to January, to build focused physical, mental, emotional, and business habits so that we enter the new year already ahead instead of waiting to start.
That is fire. Fire, actually. And I love it. And I think when I first heard this expression, winter arc, you introduced that to me. I'm pretty sure. And
I
I
learned
was
it from
all
Instagram.
about it. Did you?
Yeah.
Hey, we all learn from somewhere, don't we? So
Yep.
I love learning that. And so what are you going to be implement or what are you implementing right now? Or where do we even
So I love the idea of using the cold, dark months to get ahead because
Mhm.
sometimes it feels like time just stops in winter. We don't feel like doing anything, like we don't feel like going outside. We don't feel, yeah, we're hibernating, like for sure. But so I kind of want to roll with the darkness, the solitude of it. And I'm really trying to do two things: build more mind body connection.
Mhm.
I have a friend who teaches yoga on Zoom, and we've been doing that regularly, like 20 minutes, not an actual hour long flow.
Mhm.
But that's something that I want to continue doing because in the past I've said I'm going to meditate for 15 minutes a day starting tomorrow. Oh, and I'm going to go lift weights 5 times a week. Oh, and I'm going to do a plant-based diet, like all in the same day. How often do
Right.
we do that?
And then
So
you end up doing none.
this quick
Right.
yoga practice could be a way to do all of it. So what
Mhm.
about you? What habits are you
I
building,
love
business,
it.
personal, otherwise?
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, right now, I'm working on rebuilding my sleeping habits. I fell off. That train kept going, but like I completely fell off. And yeah, I now kind of regret. I mean, I don't regret a lot of things, but that because sleeping is so important. I mean, we all have heard, but the more you kind of learn about how the importance of sleep, even just to like regenerate your brain, because we're here trying to create, and if you don't have the proper amount of sleep or the proper night of sleep, it makes things more difficult, and we don't need more difficult, especially during the winter arc, people. The time, I mean, the sun goes down so early, it's dark, it's almost depressing. So that's definitely one thing I'm working on. I'm also working on my diet, cleaning it up. I'm trying to reduce like significantly the amount of carbs that I'm eating. And again, it is probably not the best season to attempt something like that, but I was kind of forced into it, so it's fine. But I'm finding, my footing, my little cadence, my routines in those two things. These are my main two, but definitely, if I could at this point, I'd probably try more gym, but I'm gonna reserve it for
One
maybe
thing at a time,
later. Exactly. A few things at a time. Exactly. Because we
a
are,
few things.
trying to build and level up and be on social media, be everywhere. So it's challenging for sure. But I love that definition. And yeah, anyone listening, we encourage you. So, what was it again? We want to build physical, mental, emotional.
Physical, mental, emotional, and business habits so that we enter the
Yes,
new year feeling ahead instead of waiting to start. It's
yeah,
December, so like I'm November, December, I'm just going to put my tools down. Like this is the opposite of that.
that's right. Actually, yeah, I do. I had an idea to kind of run a sprint, actually, just thinking about the business habits and where the idea, the concept was basically start January right now, while, because the concept is you get to January and typically everyone has new goals, it's a new me, new year, new me. But we all know after 3 weeks, it's the old me and nothing, you know what I mean? So if you can get into the flow state of producing, doing business, even through those dark months and all the holidays that come with obviously the end of the year, which are amazing. But that's where people really slow down. It's so much easier to just go shopping all day and then retreat to your sofa. I mean, like, so I don't blame anybody who does that. It's understandable, but
Yeah,
yeah, that's why we want to remind ourselves that we can do something about it.
definitely, definitely. And I mean, speaking of social media and how we're learning about all of these different things, you and I have been talking about social media for a while, and we'll talk more about social media on this show because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody's talking about it. It has and will be continue to be a hot topic.
Yep.
But in looking at the content that we're building and the movements that we're both trying to create, the difference between having an audience and building a community. So you and I have been learning about communities as of late. We're a part of a lot of different communities where we get advice on building
Mm-hmm.
community. And the biggest difference that we've learned about with communities versus building an audience is that an audience really wants to be entertained. They're there like, what's in it for me? TikTok audience, entertain me. I want to see
Yep.
what you're about. But what are your thoughts on that versus what a community means?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, love the question. And like communities, um, obviously we're building on this platform called, well, personally anyway. You're Aubrey as well.
Yeah,
Now, anyway, we're on school, and so school is fairly new. And to me, it's redefining that whole idea of community. But community, definitely, when you think community, you even think like a church, like the traditional community, where it's like a group of people that have a similar type of ideologies, maybe, or goals or ideas. It could be an art community, it could be so many things, right? But what, to me anyway, when I think community is like where you exchange, you have like a close relationship with at least a few people in that within that community. There's a lot of networking happening, you share a lot of things, values and so forth. But that being said, do you think we need a leader? Like, I know I said certain things, but lightly, just overview, like, do we need to have a per se leader in a community? What are your thoughts?
to start, yes, because well, I mean, this is where it comes to down to shared values, like you just
Mm-hmm.
said. This is also where personal brand comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So, is my personal brand the type of brand that somebody wants to interact with? And at the beginning, yes, like what you and I have learned is that it's super important, especially at the beginning, to be involved, to be in there communicating with people. But a
Mm-hmm.
successful community in the long run needs to be able to run without you. So
Exactly.
are individuals still getting together and helping each other if the pastor isn't there, as in taking the
Mm-hmm.
church example, just as an example. But yeah, can this community run without the main leader?
Absolutely. I think it can and should. Again, as you're saying this, I'm thinking, I know I gave one example. It might not be the best example, the church thing, but, or, something like that. Like, technically, I mean, okay, let me know. This is a bad example, but people come in for one thing and then they get to know each other and like it could technically, run on its own. That's not a good example. Sorry, guys. But yeah, definitely. I mean, the members can exchange on their own. They don't need somebody to say, hey, you and you speak. You and you go in the Zoom, whatever room or this room or this, it should kind of, yeah, because there are certain values and things that people have in common in there. Whether it's looking for fun and joy, and they're in a community like Aubrey's community, or they're more entrepreneur, or anyway, whatever. There's
Yeah.
so many things, right? Super cool.
And join Lydie's community. I'm going to finish that thought for you there.
Sure, of course, of course. And so we are
The
also,
other,
go for it.
no, go ahead. No, you.
No, I'm done.
This is real. This is why it's Future Unscripted.
That's right.
The other thing that we've been learning about as it relates to community is selling digital products. Doing this in an authentic way, doing this in a way that is aligned with our values and what we can teach. But what has been your experience so far? What have you learned recently about digital products and how we can come up with ideas for those?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was so cool. So, first of all, they're super powerful tools because um, people need to learn, right? First of all, the education economy, the part of it, like where you're creating something, a knowledge you have, something that you can teach, offloading that information and making it a digital asset is super powerful. So if you are, trying to have a business, you definitely want to think about that. But the one thing I just learned which was really, really interesting, was sometimes you think, where am I going to start exactly? What exactly do I have to offer to this world? Like, I know personally, I was stuck for forever as, okay, I don't want to be a coach. I'm not a coach. I need, to go to school to be a coach. I need to go to university. I need to learn. But no, not necessarily. You can basically say, these are the jobs I've done. These are the things I know. These are the things that people come to me regularly, on a regular, to ask for advice. These are all the good things. And of course, we're going to use our best friends, our AI, if you're into that, right? And then you just put everything together and come up with things that you have the natural ability to actually share and teach. So that's one thing I learned. How about you?
Yeah.
I'm
What is I'm searching for a word. Oh, what you just mentioned. It's how can we build authority and credibility on
mm-hmm.
a topic that we're interested in? So what you're talking about is having authority. Like if people are regularly coming to Lydie asking for the same questions over and over again, that along with her personal experience, professional experience, all of those layers build authority because of your lived experience. And so looking at doing an audit of not only what skills do you have, but what resources have you collected over time that you could teach? What is sitting in your Google Drive that's been sitting there for 6 years, just collecting dust, or the graveyard of digital courses that you've never signed into? Are there skills in there that you could learn and then turn around and teach in your own style? That's the key, in your own
Exactly.
style. We're not copying for the sake of copying, but if this is something you're interested in and teaching about digital products, there's an audience out there. It just, how do you explain this?
Exactly.
So,
100%. So, as we wrap up, I mean, we talked about all of the good things. Um, AI, we didn't talk about it, but again, whether it is to help you define your winter arc, things that you want to improve about yourself, or selling digital product, I mean, we recommend to please use it to the fullest. Um, and yeah, we before we go, we're talking about how to end this episode because we don't have notes. We just think about an outline, a general theme. And so talking about AI, actually, that's the transition my brain is just connecting the dots
Yeah.
now, but like we decided, oh yeah, we would like to conclude something positive and everything else. And Aubrey did something super cool. Take us through it, girl.
So I asked, usually Lydie and I like to end our episodes with a quote or a central idea or a takeaway. And so the quote for today is this: some seasons grow flowers, winter arcs grow foundations. So bring it back to what we talked about at the very beginning. And we put the outline of the topics we wanted to discuss into AI and asked for 5 good, valuable, short, custom quotes about this topic, the winter arc, which we kicked off with. And this is what it came back with. And I know that's a small experiment, but this stuff is fun. Yeah. Making the shift from, am I the person that has to come up with this, or can AI help me with this? I'm going to keep saying that over and over because it's such a mindset shift.
Yep, absolutely. Genius. So I mean, we had to share because when you told me the phrase, I panicked. It was so good. So please repeat it as we end.
Yes. So it's some seasons grow flowers, winter arcs grow foundations.
All right. So go, my friends.
Take care of yourself, everybody.
Grow foundations. Yes. Awesome.